What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome to 2023. Hopefully, you guys had a good New Year's. Hopefully, no one's in jail, hurt, no one drove drunk. You know, all the cool stuff. Everyone keeps sharing the memes over and over again. Anyway, hopefully, all that is done, past. It's a new day. I'm excited for the markets. But in this video, I want to talk about just we started tracking how much I was making on Tesla shares, or at least I took the bot account. The TOS account was in it was a bot account, so I would just sell options against the S&P. But that was a market efficiency bot. Which, as you can tell, the market's not too efficient right now. So we've had that turned off for some time. But then I don't like money just sitting around. That's a waste of money. That's what a savings account is for, and that's how you lose money. I've never seen someone save themselves into upper class. If you are that person, first of all, what are you doing watching my shows? Second of all, wow, what'd you do? Just not eat? You just kept putting money in a savings account? Then what'd you buy? Anyway, I took that 100 shares. So Tesla was hitting my average price. Now I have my investment account, then my trading account, and then I had this account. And just coincidentally, Tesla was dropping off a cliff right about my average price. So I thought it'd be cool to buy 100 shares on here and then track it. Don't track it all the same. So I sell options against all my investment shares. Something I wish I would have started a lot sooner than I did. But investment account, it's like owning something. It's like owning a house. The price will fluctuate, but you can collect rent on that. So anyway, I started collecting rent on that. So we're going to go over just how much I made. I guess I started in November. So we got one full solid month in there, about a month and a half. How I feel this is going to turn out. Now, the whole thing was, when can I get my Tesla shares for free? What's my average cost? When have I collected enough rent that it paid for the initial investment? One cool thing about Tesla, I don't care if you're a Tesla bull or bear. Doesn't matter. Right now, a lot of people love Tesla, right? So a lot of people love Tesla. A lot of people love talking crap on Tesla. Maybe because they missed it. They don't fully understand. You know, I don't know. Some people are in the clouds when it comes to Tesla, like in both direction. You know, you got the Gordon Johnson, like, it's just a car company and doesn't, people that don't know anything about EVs, like, there's a lot of people that just don't know anything about EVs in general. Like, even in the comments, like, I'm not the only one telling them this. Like, they're like, hey, but you don't actually know anything. Like, you're just, especially if you compare Tesla to Toyota. Like, that's your first sign to me that you actually don't know. Anyway, not a bad thing, but probably time to look some things up. But also, if you think Tesla's going to be a $30 trillion market cap company without the most insane, rampant runoff inflation we've ever seen in our lives, and everyone's just okay with it, I don't know how we get to that valuation. I really don't. Maybe they do colonize on Mars in the next 5 years. We put all of Mars's market, like we just put their GDP in the Tesla fund. Who knows? Anyway, let's get to it. So Tesla bulls or bears, I actually don't care. I am a fan of Tesla, but Tesla's biggest pro and con is Elon, right? I've been saying that for a while. It's why I'm hesitant to even make Tesla videos, because it is my biggest position in my investment account. It hasn't always. 2022, it became the biggest position in my investment account. But at the same time, like, there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of things people don't understand. I'm comfortable with what I'm risking. I actually know these markets. And I worry how many people are watching, not only me, but everyone else, just jump into some crap. Because I've had plenty of people come to me and say, hey, Don, help me out. I'm in this position. I'm like, what were you thinking? Like, where in your mind did you ever think that was an okay idea? But here we are. So anyway, I'll pull up the document. You can see right now I'm in the, we have the January 6th 120. So the last one, I told you guys I had sold the 125s, and then Tesla popped up. So if you look at the chart, Tesla, had a green day, right? So really sent it up a little bit. So instead of, I rolled it. Basically, long story short, we'll just go over that. Rolled the 120s. So we'll pull this up. Okay, so November 15th was my first day starting this. Start tracking it at least. The rest we'll just call it. So my investment accounts, you're like 197, close enough, right? Still a lot cheaper to go out in the market and buy 100 shares. So if you wanted to even catch up, just something I do with my my mentorship group to prove a point as well, because a lot of people love to just jump in a position, and if it goes red, they're like, oh, I'll just sell calls. I'm good to go. Like, oh, will you now? You don't know your initial risk? Because right now, jumping in and buying 100 shares, it will have cost you at the time just shy of $20,000. If you look right here, I've collected $2,000. Sweet. Yeah, now I'm up more than the Tesla investor who just bought and got to watch this thing go down. Of course I can, but I'm a trader, so of course I'm going to make more money than an investor. Like, there's a gambler, and then there's people that know the markets and trade. I would say the smaller group, and then there's just the investor. They love to say things like it's time in versus timing, and that's fine. You just stay on that ride. You enjoy the highs and lows, and we'll see you on the other end. At that point, I will have made a lot more. Again, why I'm making this video is because I'm trying to see if I can get this down to free, and I was doing about $1 per line. So if we go down here, this is my goal. 200 trades in, we're at free, 0, which means it doesn't matter if that thing goes bankrupt, I will have already made money. So technically I gotta pay tax on this because this is realized. So realized gains, I do gotta pay taxes on this. So right now I'm actually about, well, we'll do the math simple because a lot of you guys definitely afraid of taxes. You gotta pay taxes on it. Oh my God. I know, I don't sell drugs, I sell options contracts. Yeah, you gotta pay taxes. On any legitimate income, you gotta pay taxes. Hate to break it to you, I know the CPAs love to like fearmonger with that for some reason. Like, oh my God, you gotta pay taxes. Thanks. Anyway, what'd you pay taxes on? Nothing? So you made nothing. Sweet, cool conversation. All right, anyway. So we started here at 198. Now I've been selling contracts. Now you can see I'll start to really get aggressive, and that's something you can do on a downtrend. On a downtrend, you can sell at the money because it's just going to keep on going down. Right now, we've got Tesla's chart. Like, there you have it. You know, you can sell pretty aggressively. The fun thing about this, the most hilarious thing about this is fundamentally Tesla had the best year. We're still waiting on delivery numbers, but Tesla had the best year. So there's your fundamentals. Best year, fundamentally speaking, and the top 2 worst stocks in the S&P, I don't know which one took first, is Meta and Tesla. Coincidentally, the top 2 in my account. So that's awesome. Definitely feeling that. But anyway, how's that for technicals don't matter, fundamentals do? Fantastic. Sweet investment, bro. You did good. You picked one of the worst stocks ever. Price-wise, but your fundamentals were super strong. Anyway, I know it's taken out of context 1 year. So ultimately, how it breaks down to that last trade right here. So the 125s, I collected $362, but we saw Tesla pump. So it got to 547. That's when I closed it down, but I collected $765. So in the end, on that one transaction, when you roll an options contract, you are buying to close one, selling to open another. You just get to do it in one, but you can manually do it. And that's actually how I like to do it because in my head, the accounting was just a lot easier. Every time I click roll, I still got to go back in and see the manual numbers, or see the numbers manually. Anyway, so while this was an L and it did add to my cost because I was sitting at 2,200, that being said, collected this. Now the interesting thing about that is right now, so you got time value plus real value. So when you look at options contracts, let's get back to here. So this contract right now is worth 2 things, real value and time value. And that whole Tesla week next week is pricing in $500 worth of time because the 120 strike, it's at 123. There's $3, so it's times 100 shares, so it's times 100. So right now, this contract, real value, is worth $3. It's inflated right now to 830, we'll call it 825 right in the middle. So $825 tells you there's $500 worth of time value. That's what gets sucked out. So even if this expires in the money, now come Thursday or if there's any other hype that I can take advantage of, I'll roll that again. I'll probably wait till Thursday if I can, because make no mistake, whether this thing goes up or down, that time value, the extra $500 in time value is going away. Now, a lot of that is Vega because we got numbers coming out. So it's almost like an earnings play. You got to pay to play. That's when contracts you see just go up. You bought puts or calls, they probably both went up, depending on which ones you picked. Just from that Vega. That's the volatility one because we don't know if Tesla's going to beat or miss deliveries. But the delivery numbers is where Tesla moves. Like earnings is mostly a dud. Delivery numbers is where everyone finds out. Yeah, I did hedge it with a put over here. That's completely something completely different. So in case you do see that. Anyway, 120 strike, 123 price. If this thing goes sideways and does nothing for the 4 days the stock market's open, that options contract right here will go from 835 to, where's the theta at? $68 a day. So come end of Tuesday, we'll drop, let's say it doesn't move at all. Everyone forgets the stock market's open. This contract in itself will be $68 cheaper, 68 going to me. Now, I needed to drop, first of all, $1.85 just to break even. Anything on top of that, I'll make money. We got $500 worth of time value. So even if that goes up, that $500 is going away. The contract might go up. Real value might go up. Let's say Tesla gaps up $10. So it goes from 123 to 133. So that would put that options contract at about 13. So $13, what am I at, the 120s? That would still have, yeah, that would still have, so be $7 real value. So yeah, we're still $600. Now that's probably going to evaporate on Tuesday when we find out the delivery numbers. But even if we did that, as it sits right now, there would still be $600. Gosh, am I right? $7. Yeah. Still $600 time value. So I'm still collecting money even as this fluctuates. So it's okay for it to go in the money. Now, if this expires and I leave it in the money, my shares will exercise. I will sell my 100 shares at $120. So that's where they get their name from. If I sell a call, my shares get called away. What are they going to get called away at? 120, because that's my strike. Now, if I were to sell a put, if I were to sell the 100 puts over here, I would get 100 shares put to me. So if it expired down there, if it expires in the money, that's where it happens. Right now, the Options Clearing Corp, they don't actually have any rules on when they exercise. So deep in the money, they'll basically just draw a line, say, hey, here and below, exercise those, let's clear the books. So you're flirting with it when you get in the money. Deep in the money is typically where that happens. You're already at a 1-to-1 ratio. Those are more synthetic long positions anyway. So these will likely get exercised before. So if that were to happen, the only thing I did was essentially lock in a loss. I bought it at 198 and I sold it at 120. Sweet. So that would be a pretty decent loss, actually, which is why when it comes to selling options, you definitely want to be careful. If you selling hang on, let's just pull it back up. All right, so right now my average cost 178.61. So if I sell my shares at 178.61, I make that much. Plus, I got to pay taxes on all of this, so I'm negative. Now, there's tax benefits. Talking about that as a loss. If you're under tax trader status, it's a little bit different. I'm not a CPA, so talk to one. Talk to a CPA that actually knows what they're talking about. If they don't know what tax trader status is and they're still saying, hey, you can only write off $3,000, they'd probably just find one that knows what tax trader status is. That's how much did you make? How much did you lose? You pay taxes on it. You got to be a trader for that to happen, though. All right, so as it stands right now, if I close up shop, I'm down $7,549.30 to be exact on my Tesla shares, but we're up over here $2,000 on what I've gained. So if I were to just lock it in right now at 120, yeah, that'd be a loss, a fat one. So I want to make sure I don't do that. Anything above this 178 would be a gain. But so that's why when people, this is where they get in trouble. They sell options contracts, and they think, I'll just sell at the money, because you start swinging for the fences. When you're selling options contracts, they're not home run plays. They are, I call them children's allowance. Get the little money with no management, and then that's that. Okay? If you're swinging for the fences, you're just asking for a loss. I know I'm selling aggressively right now because Tesla's in a downtrend. Like, Tesla's probably going to 60. I mean, like, what's going to turn Tesla around right now? Would have had a green day? Sweet. What, Jeremy made a video about it? Awesome. Kathy Wood bought 25,000 shares. She gave you the short entry as far as I'm concerned. Kathy's already blown 2 firms. She's working on her 3rd, so we can take her fundamentals right out the gate. Steve Mark Ryan, he made another YouTube video. Surprise. He also thinks Tesla's going to be a $30 trillion market cap. So we can take that analysis, toss that right out the window. Sure, Elon said he's going to stop selling. I hope he does, because he came out and said, for the next 18 to 24 months, I'm not selling. He's kind of said that before and then kind of continued to sell anyway. His last one kind of seemed more genuine, but that was still Elon selling. Elon selling created a lot of hype, momentum, the trend to the downside, so it makes more sense to short Tesla stock. A lot of traders are going after that. The Tesla bears are going all in on it. So right now, I just don't see Tesla turning around. And if it does, it's not going to turn around on a dime. That'd be the only way I lose here, is because if it turns on a dime, I will be chasing and rolling every contract, collecting some time value in between. But now I'm in so much recovery mode that, next week I'll sell the 125s. And then hopefully, if it keeps going up, hopefully I can sell the 130s. At that point, I'll be trying to just make any kind of money or break even just to get me out of this, closer to this up here, or just get out in general. Or I can just pay for it and take the loss. I'm not going to let my shares go regardless. I will take the loss first. But anyway, the game is to get this to 0. Anyway, long story short, if you think selling calls in your position is a great idea, I think it is. But again, I say this all the time. Have a plan or plan to fail. If you jumped in because you're going to play Super Trader and that position went red, and instead of stopping out, or you're just like, well, that sucks, I can't take a loss, I'm going to sell options contracts. Buying and only selling when it's green, that's not a plan, guys. That's not a trade. That is you just winging it, shooting from the hip, just shotgunning it. You're probably not going to be here next year. You're going to be a statistic that says you suck, and you do. Because if you don't have a plan, you're going to fail. This is in my plan. I'm going to buy these Tesla shares. I'm going to hold them for a decade. That means 10 years. Not 10 days, not 10 weeks, not 10 months. What would have to change if Tesla had to do something drastic for me to sell these shares? Drastic. Right now, as it sells off, you guys keep the hype up so much that these options contracts are worth a lot that I can race that thing to 0. So that's fine. Tesla would have to shoot up to where I'm like, all right, this is not happening. Then at that point, I'd probably just trail it and sell. Anyway, just focusing on this number, you can't just play ostrich, stick your head in the sand, and think, oh crap, I'll just ignore the fact that I'm down $7,500. I'm up 2,000. It's not a plan. So if you want to avoid this, maybe anyway, just make it your damn plan. Everything I've ever done, all of these clicks, every bit of this was all part of it before I ever clicked the buy button. That's the difference. I didn't just wing it, hope my Tesla position turns green so I can talk about a green trade. I bought this thing. I'm going to sell options contracts to get it to 0. In a downtrend, I'll be aggressive. In an uptrend, I got to sell 2 standard deviations out so that I don't sell my shares. Anyway, I'll wrap it up here. That's how much I made. I'll keep you guys updated. Again, this is inside my mentorship group, so they do know specifically these contracts. If you are interested, that is the Patreon link. If you don't know what options are, the Teachable link, that is the actual course. Now, the Trading Suite does have supply and demand options in there. But if you don't know what options are, if you couldn't even just tell me what I just did here, if you don't know what Vega is, if you think Delta is the if the stocks go up $1, that's how my contracts go up. That's the only reason you know Delta. You don't know options. You should probably just quit trading options. You can blow your account anytime. Learn what they are first. Once you learn it, then you know all the gymnastics you can get yourself in trouble with. But you can understand that could get me in trouble. That could get me out. This is what I can do. Options, they create more options. That's all. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. If you just think they're not magic. I'll put it that way. You can't just spin a web of options gymnastics and think you're going to get yourself out of trouble, right? They're not going to negate that. They can ease some pain, certainly if you were an investor. But again, you can blow your account anytime. Learn what they are first. I'm obviously biased towards my course, but find someone who knows what they're talking about if you're going to buy their course. And deltas in mine, I give you 11 ways to look at the delta. Just that one Greek. 11 definitions. You can't even tell me more than one, which tells me you shouldn't be in a single options contract. Anyway, I'll wrap it up here, guys. Tomorrow we got the expected moves. We got the stream getting ready for the week. Let's see how 2023 is going to treat us. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about 2023 and what I think is going to happen. That's on Don Fran's show. We'll be going live. So this is Don Fran Trading, all pre-recorded stuff. Don Fran show live, so I can see you guys in the comments to answer your questions. So bring your 2023 ideas. So far, I'm 2 for 2 on crashes, top and bottom. I called them out before they happened. So let's see if we can keep that streak alive. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.